Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below, the purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on Watchbox Reviews. And today we're discussing the 2018 release Moser Cie Pioneer Center Second Cosmic Green. 42.8 millimeters in stainless steel, the Pioneer sports watch is one of the most aggressively styled Moser models and one of the largest, but wearable with a 14.3 millimeter thickness, a large portion of which you can see is actually the sapphire, and then a 50.9 millimeter lug-to-lug span with a 22 millimeter span between the lugs. Let's take a look at the hardware and the software and then put it on the wrist. You can see the strap is textile externally, which is a handsome utilitarian look, though it is wonderfully rubber lined on the bottom, meaning all you feel against the wrist is not the coarse material, but this vulcanized rubber that also improves the longevity of the strap by separating it from the oils and moisture of the wrist. A lovely striated satin and polished Moser Cie pin buckle for quick on-the-fly adjustments, and you'll note how thoughtfully sculpted that buckle is. There are no default designs at Moser of Schaffhausen, and yes, they are the other fully integrated Swiss manufacturer in Schaffhausen. Take a look at the case flank. It is again typical Moser with evacuated hollows, but rather than the polished scalloped segments you see on the Endeavor and the Venturer, you can see these are a little bit more industrial with an inner coining and a squared off profile. Polished flank, you can see that the lug hoods themselves actually have a little bit of an angled character line running down their center with satin finish tops. The bezel is polished and minimalist like a silver halo surrounding the dial. The crown is a screw down unit and the watch is 120 meters water resistant. Now when I pull the crown, I activate the stop seconds function so I can synchronize to a reference time. And you can see that the dial itself, though elaborate in color gradient, is actually minimalist, with high-grade applique indices, a flange outboard featuring individual dots of superluminova, highly stylized leaf or foy style hands, a counterweighted Lancet-style seconds hand with a skeletonized counterweight, and then minimalist Moser branding in a handsome vintage scripted style on a cosmic green dial that starts out bright green at its center and fades to almost black at its outer edge. This is the fume or gradient dial that Moser has helped to make famous in the modern era. Now flip it all over and you have a Moser HMC 200 movement. Tungsten rotor, bidirectional winding. It uses a pawl-based magic lever system, which is both very shock resistant and very efficient. 3-day automatic winding power reserve. You can see the balance, which beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour when fully wound. Features both a full balance bridge and a free sprung index. Those two features combining to make this a very shock resistant watch. I should also mention that it is impressively in-house, as Moser, through its precision engineering subsidiary, makes all of the small parts. So the balance, the hairspring, the escapement, both the wheel and the lever, all of that created in-house, and Moser, in fact, building these parts for many other brands in Switzerland as a primary supplier. You can see that the style is handsome with satin finish as well as media blasting on the rotor, a double-crested Côte de Genève across the bridges. There is a machined bevel on the edge, so that's not a true hand-laid bevel, but it is a handsome and neat machine bevel with black polished screws, and if you look carefully on the base plate, you can see an overlapping engine-turned perlage. It is a very good-looking watch. And on the wrist, we'll take a quick look at how it fits. Broad but comfortable, flat and flush, with the curvature of the lugs helping it to fit agreeably on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. While it's not a super thin watch, you can just see how much of the thickness is that domed crystal, which means it'll allow a sleeve to ramp up and over. So while the absolute tightest of dress cuffs might not fit, most probably will. This is a full service watch that, frankly, because of the elegance and proportioning of its case and dial, could even pull double duty as a bit of a formal timepiece in fully suited attire. A handsome and versatile watch from a company that builds only about 1,500 watches a year out of Schaffhausen. I've often called Moser Cie the German-Swiss F.P. Journe for the sheer level of invention and exclusivity. Email tmosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And we're back with the Moser Cie Pioneer Center Second, green by day, green by night.